Yo, what is up fellow Cybertronians? Welcome back to the Ian02 channel. My name is Ian, and today's topic of discussion is SS38 Optimus Prime versus 102 Bumblebee Optimus Prime. So let's talk about it. So here we have SS38 Optimus Prime and SS02 Bumblebee Optimus Prime. So, there have been a lot of discussion about if you should just stick with this guy or you should get the new Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, and that's because, well, they're supposed to be the same character as we have seen in the Bumblebee movie. And yeah, this has got a lot of people talking on if it is worth getting the new Optimus Prime, or should they just stick to their old Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie, mainly because of the shortcomings of the new Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. Just a short disclaimer before we begin. These are just my thoughts and opinions. I have no relations to the company that makes them, Hasbro, or do I have any knowledge coming from what is going on in the industry and what's on. I'm just stating my thoughts, and yeah, try not to get upset about it. If I do say something that is not something that you agree with, and if there is something that you disagree with, I do truly apologize. This is just my thoughts and opinions. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Now, the first point I would like to make is that the SS38 Optimus Prime has a lot more clearer details as compared to the SS102. Right? If we look at them close together, here you can see the detail of the face of the Optimus Prime as compared to this one. Right? I think it's quite obvious that the SS38 is a lot more detailed, and I think we can attribute that basically to the size of the head. That's because this guy is a lot more top heavy as compared to this guy, right? This guy is a lot skinnier, whereas this guy looks a lot chunkier at the top. The next thing is I would say is the shoulder joint. So this Optimus Prime has a slight annoying part about this shoulder joint, which is these panels. They have to move out of the way in order for his arms to spread outwards. And as you move the arms down, you gotta close in these flaps. However, for the SS102, if I were to T-pose him, you will see that his shoulders move up along with the arm instead of the shoulders remaining in place and the arms moving outwards. So it does create a really ugly looking aesthetic when he does this. So yeah, it doesn't look really great, and it's one of the points of contention because since this guy is the later figure, I would have expected that this was done to fix the issue with the SS38, and yeah, it is not a great fix. Okay, the next point of contention will be the abdomen area. Here on this guy, if the light can pick it up, you can see that it's greatly detailed. There's a lot of effort put into the paint. It's not just brushed on, it's dry brushed to pick out the details. There are some black paneling or paint apps over here. So yeah, the paint brings out a lot of the detail basically. And then you have this guy who overall, I feel that the paint job is very hastily done. The color scheme is based on the concept art, so it kind of looks a bit off. And if we look at his abdomen area, everything is just two colors, right? We got dark silver, and then we have this gray color, unpainted plastic. So the dark silver, if you can see, the paint is very thick, so it fills in the detail a little bit and makes it look very dull. This usually happens when you lazily put on a blob of paint, right, to speed up the painting process. And then we have this section which is just light grey plastic. So light grey plastic does not look very good. It basically it gives off the look that it's not finished or basically unpainted, right? And you have a lot of this grey plastic over this guy. So yeah, this guy looks a lot more finished as compared to the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. And lastly, I think this is the biggest gripe that we have with the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime figure, and that is the legs. While in robot mode, the legs of this guy looks absolutely beautiful compared to the blocky design of the SS38 Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. But once it transforms into its vehicle mode, it leaves a disgustingly a lot amount of kibble at the back of the truck mode, whereas the SS38 cleans up really nicely at the back. I'll get them into vehicle mode and show you what I mean. So here we have them in their vehicle mode, and if we look at the back, we can see that the SS38 Optimus Prime looks a lot more cleaner than the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. So like all Optimus Primes, the back of the cap is formed by his legs, and this guy, even though I think both are not good looking, but at least this one cleans up a lot more as compared to this, because yeah, here you have a lot of plastic just sticking out of the way. You have a big gap inside here that is not filled, and you can clearly see his foot over here. So yeah, these are the issues with the new 102 Buzzworthy Bumblebee Optimus Prime that I can think of as compared to the SS38 Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. Okay, so this begs the question on why should we get this if this guy seems to be a lot better? Well, here's the thing. These two guys are basically supposed to be this guy, or for the Rise of the Beast, this guy. And if we were to look at them closely, SS38 does not look like this guy or this guy. And so they had to make changes in order for it to look a lot more movie accurate, basically. Okay, so if we dive into the details, here we can see that the SS38 Optimus Prime is a lot more top heavy as compared to the movie masterpiece Optimus Prime. His upper body is a lot more slender, whereas this guy is a lot more wider. So what I think happened is that for the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, in order to get it a little bit more accurate, they had to make a Optimus Prime that is a little bit more slender in shape. And what they could have done is to basically increase the height of the legs of this guy, but instead they went the opposite route and they shrunk the Optimus Prime instead. Right? If we look at these two guys side by side, they are basically the same height. The only difference is that this guy is a lot skinnier. So when we make the figure a lot skinnier, we are basically compressing it and making all the details smaller. So when you do that, yeah, everything starts to mesh together and it doesn't look as clean as what it used to be on the basically wider figure. Right? If we look at the comparisons I make with the head, the SS38 is a lot cleaner looking because the head is a lot bigger. There is enough space for the details to spread out and basically shine. So the details are a lot deeper and bigger on this guy as compared to the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. And so when you apply paint apps onto a figure with smaller details, the paint will fill up the gaps and basically dull out the details, which is one of the major gripes I have with this figure. Now the next thing we can talk about is the design of the leg, which is basically the biggest point of contention between the two figures. The legs on the Studio Series 38 is a lot more blocky as compared to the legs on the 102. And if we were to look at the masterpiece figure, the 102 is basically a more accurate representation as compared to the Studio Series 38. But the problem doesn't lie in the robot mode. The problem lies in basically the vehicle mode. So what benefits the Studio Series 38 is that because of the blocky design, it's very easy for Hasbro to do the transformation. A blocky design, you just need the side panels and the front and back. So if we look at the leg over here, we have the side, the front, here's the other side, and we have the back. Right, this panel over here. So they all come together to form a block design that even though it's we know it's very ugly, it basically forms the leg of Optimus Prime a lot more cleaner than if we were to have a design that is at an irregular shape, like the Rise of the Beast, Optimus Prime, where the shape here is a lot more slender and it's less blocky. They have roughly the same design, a front, side and a back, but in order to fit the aesthetic, like the movie design, they can't have it as flat panels. So when we transform them into vehicle mode, it's going to be a lot harder to hide the irregular shape of the feet. Right? So that is the big issue, and I think that that's where Hasbro gave up on the Studio Series 102 vehicle mode, because of the smaller design of this guy as compared to the chunky design of this guy. Right? There's a lot less space to work with. So when it comes to transforming irregular shapes, it is a lot more difficult to design. Hence, Hasbro gave us that really ugly transformation. So yeah, they tried, from what it seems like, they tried to improve this design by a lot, right? But they had to make a lot of sacrifices in order for it to look accurate, still fit the Voyager size mold, and while doing that, they basically sacrificed the vehicle mode and some of the details. So, in conclusion, I think that while this guy is probably a better figure in terms of quality, this guy, the SS102, the aesthetics is a lot more movie accurate. And if you want an answer to the question, should you get the SS102 buzzworthy Bumblebee Optimus Prime? I would say yeah. If you want a better representation of the Optimus Prime that you see on screen, then this guy is definitely better than the SS38. I think that for any character that we see on screen, there are basically two chances for us to get a good figure, and that is from the mainline series and the Studio Series line. So unfortunately for the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, we already have a mainline figure that is really terrible, and this is the Studio Series version. We might get a mainline Studio Series version without the buzzworthy Bumblebee tag with a better color scheme, but I don't see them doing any more customization of the mold for this guy. So yeah, if you want a screen accurate Optimus Prime, this guy is definitely the figure to go to. If you want a good figure to play with or to pose with, then I would say that SS38 is the better option. Anyway, that is my opinion on the SS38 versus SS102 discussion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you agree or disagree, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe and all that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!